Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well. Day or night whenever you tune in and see this. This is going to be a general reading for Sagittarius. It can be for sun sign Sagittarius, rising Sagittarius, moon sign Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius, or none of those things, as we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each individual of our birth charts. So you have Sagittarius somewhere in your chart, okay? So this is going to be a general reading. You can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., and money as well. Abundance, all forms of abundance. And this reading is from January 17th. So we're going to go back a little bit in time and then to about February 17th or so, but it is not exact, okay, since it is a general reading and is meant for several people, right, multiple people. So it is also a timeless reading. So that means that for some people, as an example, it could resonate, let's say, 6 months in the past, 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future, days, weeks, hours, minutes, etc. Okay, so always keep that in mind. And also wanted to say that if you don't already know what your other placements are, I always recommend everyone to look into that. You can get a free birth chart online just by Googling it, even if you don't have your exact birth time, and find out what your other placements are, because depending on what's going on in your life, you know, for example, you may resonate more with your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And if you're new, welcome. And even if you're not new and you're coming back, welcome back. Appreciate both those categories, right? So let's go ahead and get into your reading here, Sagittarius. I do want to do a quick little sound bell for some general healing and grounding for the reading for you guys and for myself, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So just be aware that it is a little loud, and hold on, I want to actually see if I can get more of the table in focus there. What was I saying? Yes, it does get a little loud. So just be aware in case you're watching with headphones or you're sensitive to loud sounds, okay? But it won't be forever, right? It's just for a second. All right, so if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen to. All right. Okay, Sagittarius. I'm gonna actually put this over here because I don't really have room on my table and I don't want it to block the cards. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and get into your reading. We are gonna start in the center like I normally do. And then we'll work outwards to your tarot confirmation cards that I use another deck for, since I'm using 2 different tarot decks. And then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck to get even more insight. And then at the very end, I have a couple oracle cards for you here as well. I'm just going to move everything over for just a second here, but we can talk while I'm doing that. So in case you start to get to watch this reading and you're watching and you're like, this isn't my story, that's why I always do that whole thing in the beginning about checking your other placements. But it could also be that this reading is about, if it is resonating in certain ways, it could be about a person that you're dealing with or multiple people that you're dealing with or your general environment situation. And I also always do the astrology notes for this time period. That is a separate video. If that's something that you're interested in, you can also check that out as well. If you're not up to date or looking into astrology, that could be some of what shows up here in your reading as well. All right, so just some things to think about. Now, also, I just want to say real quickly here that this first row is going to be representing January 17th or so through the end of January till about January 31st. Then the second row here is going to be from about February 1st to about February 9th or so. And then the last row here is from about February 9th to about February 17th. Okay, so as we go through the reading, I'll try to remember to say that when we're in, those certain particular rows. Okay. So let's go ahead and call out the cards in order, and then we'll go from there. All right. So we do have the Two of Sacred Circles or Two of Pentacles in the right side up position here. We have the Justice in reverse, the Prince of Swords in reverse, the Five of Cups right side up, the Ace of Swords right side up, the King of Staves or King of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Sacred Circles or Ace of Pentacles right side up. We have the Three of Swords in reverse, and we have the Five of Sacred Circles or Five of Pentacles right side up. All right. So yeah, before we get into it too, I did count ahead of time. I believe you have 5 major arcanas here in your reading, Sagittarius. So this does talk about a lot of change, right, that could be happening during this time period for you. It could have started, during the initial reading time period of January 17th, right? It could have started, let's say, even last November or December or even before that, right? That's why I always say it could be 6 months, it could be, days, weeks, hours, minutes, etc. And then it could even go beyond February 17th. So keep that in mind as well. All right, but as far as the major arcanas, before I forget, so you do have, we're going to go ahead and call out the other zodiac signs that did show up here in your reading, if that's something that you're interested in. So that means that you could be dealing with one of those signs, or you have a lot of those signs predominantly in your birth chart, or the other person or multiple people do, or it means nothing to you at all. But I wanted to, or it could be something about the astrology, but I wanted to go ahead and just mention it real quickly in the beginning. So we do have Leo energy, we have Libra energy, we have Gemini energy, we have Aquarius energy, we have Gemini twice actually. So wait, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Is that everything? Okay. So yeah, 2 Geminis, Aquarius, Libra, and Leo. Okay. So again, it could be that you're dealing with one of those signs, or you have a lot of those signs in your chart, or they do, or multiple people that you're dealing with do, or it means nothing at all. But I wanted to just say it real quickly. All right, so going ahead and starting with this first row, right, to go backwards in time, depending on when you're watching this reading, because you could be watching this reading, let's say, next year of 2023, and you're watching, to look forward. Like, let's say you're watching at the beginning of January and you want to know what's going on at the end of January. So again, that's why I always say it may resonate either before or after the original time period. Okay, yes. So going forward, let's talk about your first card here, Sagittarius, and it is the Two of Sacred Circles, or also known as Two of Pentacles in the right side up position. And here you see this Native American man, and he's, has like this halo image around his head. He's holding up a feather. Okay, he's got a drum in his other hand. The drums are the sacred circles or the pentacles, right? But he's calling on the bear spirit, okay? So the Two of Pentacles energy is, juggling a lot of different priorities, responsibilities, trying to manifest more abundance, right? Abundance isn't just money. It can be money and wealth, but it is also about whatever you want to manifest in your life, right? So he's calling on this bear spirit for more power and courage and strength and all of these things, okay? So this could be energy from the recent past that's still kind of hanging out at the, end of January here for you in some way, Sagittarius. And what is the recent past? It will be different for excuse me, it will be different for everybody. It could be, again, like a couple of days ago, a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, hours, minutes, etc. Okay. And again, if it's not you, it could be the person you're dealing with, or multiple people dealing with general environment situation. Okay, so it's not a bad card to start off with, right? It's the Two of Sacred Circles or Two of Pentacles. It's not 6 or 8 or even 10, but it is a start forward, right? It is a step of the first step or the second step, right? It's like, okay, I'm kind of still like not at the middle yet, but I'm making my way upwards. All right. But it could be a little bit too of this energy, of juggling, like I said before, priorities, responsibilities. But the thing too that is really interesting to note in this card is that there's actually, if you look at it from the side, right, the bear spirit that this Native American person is calling to is also in a halo. If you turn it to the side, it looks like a figure 8 or the infinity symbol, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, so the infinity symbol represents timelessness and magic, okay? And so it could be that you are looking for more of that in your world, okay, at this time. All right. Now, going forward, with this Justice card in the reverse position, and that's a little bit of that Libra energy I mentioned before, there could be something that, was or wasn't justified, but it didn't go in your favor or someone else's favor, or there's still some truth that hasn't come out yet, or not fully, right? Maybe parts of it kind of came out, okay? But with the Justice in the reverse position, there is a little bit of this energetic blockage even, or stagnant energy, slowing down of energy here. And that could have been, right, like towards the last week, 2 weeks of January even, okay? And it seems that, this kind of, well, let me stop myself because I'll get into that in a minute. But let me first show you the card too. So here's the Justice in the reverse position, right? And there is also something going on here with like a resistance to change for some. Again, it doesn't have to be you, Sagittarius, or the evolution of something, even if it's not like a dramatic change, the evolution of something. And it could also just be, well, I would say that your next card, which is the Prince of Swords in reverse, also has a sword in it, right? It's the Prince of Swords. But the Justice, Lady of Justice, right? She's also holding a sword as well. And so when the swords are reversed, right, it's about, mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, something like that. Okay, so that is also present in both of these cards here, but we'll get more into this one in a minute. But this is actually my spirit guides this time, because they tell me in different places for every reading where to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. But in this reading so far, Sagittarius, they wanted me to talk about it with the Justice card in reverse, with the Prince of Swords in reverse, and the Five of Cups. So they kind of want it to be kind of mentioned over these 3 cards. Usually it's like only one at a time, but there are similarities there. So that's, what they want. So I just do what they want. All right. So when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, this is energy from the way, way back past. Okay, further back than the recent past, obviously, right? But I'll just hold this up, while we talk about these together. So what we have is the Sun in reverse, okay, on the top of your deck. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles also in the reverse on the bottom of your deck. So the Sun in reverse is about, when we're talking about justice and we're talking about truth, you can look at the Sun, if it was right side up, right, as some type of truth card. It's about illumination. It's about getting more information, revelations, spiritual downloads, aha moments. Now I finally understand something. So when it is in reverse, oops. Okay, there we go. When it is in reverse here, Sagittarius, it could be that whatever this denial of truth or not all of the truth, right? Maybe if it's not denial, it could just be not all the truth has come out yet, or not all the information has come out yet or been available to you or the other personal and general environment situation here, okay? But this could have definitely started or in the way back past, or if this is something that's currently, just happened, right? We're talking about end of January. It could be like triggering you back to something that did happen that was similar in certain ways from the way back past. Okay, so it could go two different ways there. All right. Now, with the Eight of Pentacles or Eight of Sacred Circles in reverse as well, this is an energy of not being open to learning something new. Okay, not being open to also putting in a lot of hard work into something, okay? And that could be about, since it is in the way back past, somebody, not wanting to put in the effort or the long hours into finding a truth or finding the full amount of justice, okay, in a situation or a relationship or whatever it is, you're watching this reading for. But it is also just this, it's just, hold on, let me wait, figure out how I'm going to say it. It's like this mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking that we said was also in your third card, right? The Prince of Swords in reverse is also because he's a prince in reverse, right? Another way, just like the Eight of Sacred Circles in reverse, I don't want to learn something new. Normally princes aren't a king yet, right? They're not a page either, which would be underneath them. So it goes page, knight, or prince, and then king, right? But it is in reverse. Okay, so again, this is kind of a little bit of this energy of possibly for some, not everybody, of not being open to learning new things, a new perspective, a new way of looking at something. It could also be that somebody here is not ready for some type of leadership role, or they're not quite ready to step into the long hours and long hard work ethic into something yet, because there is a little bit of mental confusion, anxiety, overthinking, being too much up in their head. Okay, now also the thing to note about the Prince of Swords, if it was right side up, is that there's water in the background here. Okay, so the water in the tarot, like I always say, represents our emotions. So if someone's emotions are too all over the place, whether you, Sagittarius, another person, or multiple people, or both, or everybody, right? Then this clouds our intellect, our logical brain side. If we're thinking too much, or we're not even thinking, but we're using too much of the emotions in the heart center, okay? So that energy is present there as well, okay? But now going forward too, before I put these cards down completely, now we're getting into your second row, which is around, not exact, right? February 1st through February 9th here. We have the Five of Cups in the right side up position, kind of following that Prince, well, it is following the Prince of Swords in reverse here, okay? And so this is another card that speaks of a little bit of a blockage or challenge or energetic blockage, okay? Or even physical blockage too, right? It's different for everybody. But this is all about focusing only on the negative or the stuff that's gone wrong. So you see the king in the background is crying that he spilled his wine, but what he doesn't remember or realize, right? Or maybe he doesn't even know they're there, is that these other two people have more wine to give to him. They can help him in some way. There's still positive things going on if he just literally turns around and changes his perspective, okay? So when we pull out this Five of Cups energy in the right side up position that's still kind of going on in that first week of February, perhaps for some, it's like, well, if someone doesn't have all the information, if they're denying this enlightenment, the spiritual downloads, the revelations, if they are not open to learning something new, then of course they may be in the dark. Okay, so the dark can also be not just like a negative mindset, okay, but it also could be not evolving, right? So the dark could be stagnant energy, right? It doesn't have to be as dramatic as, oh, this is really negative and this is really dark. It could be just certain aspects of something, right? It will differ for everybody. But that's kind of, where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about this energy that's present in these three kind of like little bit of blockages here. But I wouldn't get too like, obsessed about it or down on yourself, your Sagittarius, because you still have some really good positive cards coming out in your reading. Okay, so let's keep going forward and see what else comes out. So right after the Five of Cups, right, now we have finally mental clarity, and this could have been happening or be happening, right? In that middle of that first week of February, okay? But the Ace of Swords is here, right? And so there's mental clarity. The sword is up. This is how you want to see this card. And so the swords in tarot represents the intellect, yes, but the swords, just like the wands, can be a tool or a weapon, right? You can use the sword to guard yourself or people you care about, right? But you can also use it to cut down plants and to make food or to make a shelter for yourself, okay, just as examples, right? But this is also about aces are about new beginnings, okay? And just as like a little foreshadowing of the future, the rest of your reading here is you have another ace in the next row that's also right side up, okay? So there could be a lot of new beginnings happening, in like, we could even say till mid-February. We could also say it's the whole month of February, right? Again, it will be different for everybody. Turn this on for the dogs and the cat sometimes just to distract them. Oh my gosh, guys! Side note: it's the Super Bowl here in the States, and I'm not like a football person, but they have this thing called the Puppy Bowl, and I had it on in the background. And I was like, why don't they have cats too? And they do have cats. And so everybody here in my house watched a little bit of the Puppy Bowl and the kitten bowl or whatever, the kitty bowl. I think that's what they call it. All right, but anyway, sorry. I'm like all about the animals, but sorry, guys. So when this Ace of Swords comes in here, Sagittarius, though, it brings that mental clarity back or even more of it, right? And it brings that new beginning, that fresh start kind of energy here. And that could have started maybe in the beginning. I keep saying beginning. In the middle of that first week of February or even beyond, right? But it's really nice to see here, especially after, you kind of had like a rough start so far, right? Because it's like, your first card wasn't bad. It was pretty good. And then you had three cards that were like a blockage or stagnant energy. So then when the Ace of Swords comes in and it's positive and it's for momentum, that's really nice to see. Okay. Now, your last blockage, okay, this is your last blockage, and they happen in every reading. They happen to everyone, right? It's a part of life. Is your sixth card here, the King of Staves in the reverse position. It's a little bit of what we talked about earlier, as far as somebody could be not quite ready to level up in a leadership role, or level up in a relationship or creative project or with friends or family or whatever it may be, the main reason why you're watching this reading, okay? Because the king is in reverse. But the main sense of the energy I get here from this card, generally speaking, is not feeling creative, not feeling passionate, and lacking courage and confidence. Okay, like the confidence, the big C word, right? Okay, is mainly like the energy I felt here for you, Sagittarius. Again, it doesn't have to be you. It could be another person that you're dealing with, or multiple people, or a general environment situation, okay? But the courage and the confidence, right? Because normally if he's right side up, this king, he's holding you know, his staffs, right? The representation of Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt, I think, whatever. And then these two lions, right? So, but he has this look on his face that a lot of the Princess of Staves also has it, and the Queen of Staves, I believe, has it, and the staves are also the wands, right? It's like this silent kind of confidence or knowing in his eyes, if you can see it there. But it came out reversed, okay? So there could be a little bit of, even if it's not a lack of confidence or courage or passion or energy or all those things, it could also be a little bit of like not trusting yourself or not having an inner knowing about something here. But it doesn't last for long because you do have another ace right side up that follows it, okay? But before we get to that, this is actually where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in relation to that King of Staves in the reversed position. And just the me is there. Okay. I swear I thought it said Mariah Carey, and I was like, no, I just have instrumental on, and I don't really listen to Mariah Carey like that. But that was weird. Anyway, here we are, right? We're talking about what's in the top and the bottom of your other deck in relation to that King of Staves or King of Wands. So this is actually two major arcanas here. And this is, again, energy from the way, way back past, right? It'd be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. But we have on the top the Fool in reverse, and on the bottom we have the Star card in reverse position. Okay, so we do have some Gemini energy here, and we also have Aquarius energy here. Okay, so it could mean something to you, but it doesn't have to, all right? But basically what this is telling me when we were talking about that confidence, the lack of passion, or even inner knowing and all those things and courage, the Fool card is definitely, if it was right side up, just like this one, if they were both right side up, just for a second here, we're just gonna pretend. The Fool is taking a leap of faith. Okay, so you have to have courage to take a leap of faith. And when it's in reverse, it's like somebody doesn't have the courage to do something here, and it could, you know, reference back to something that started or triggers you about something that happened in the way, way back past, where you were maybe dealing with some issues of ego and identity, right? Like if the Fool was right side up, it would be, do I want to look foolish to myself or to others? Or what does it mean to look foolish? Will I have, also with the dog here at the bottom of the Fool card, will I have loyalty through this leap of faith or these changes or trust that I'm trying to have? Will I have that, right? With it being in reverse, it could be that in the way, way back past, you didn't feel like you could rely on someone or didn't have the loyalty here, or someone else felt that way about you or multiple people, general environment situation, right? Take it how it resonates, okay? But then, you know, when you put the Fool in the reverse position, also with the Star in reverse, it's like someone, you know, maybe in the recent past, not recent, well, yes, recent here, but this is way, way back past too. So it could trigger, right? But it's like a lack of magic, of feeling your own magic or magic in general in the universe, right? A lack of inspiration, because that's really what the Star card represents when it's in the right side up position. Again, water here, dealing with the emotions in a positive way if it was right side up, but it is also reversed, okay? So, yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but you know, this is where my spirit guides wanted me to mention these things together. Okay, so that could be the reason why the King of Staves is in reverse, and there's a lack of courage and passion and confidence and inner knowing, is because in the way, way back past, this leap of faith didn't happen or didn't go as planned, or the trust wasn't there, the loyalty wasn't there in some way, and this perhaps led to not trusting in your own magic or the magic in general in life, okay, or losing hope or inspiration. But like I said, it doesn't last forever, because your second ace comes up here, Sagittarius, in this third row. That's the week we're in now, right? from about February 9th to the 17th. And also on a side note, I forgot to mention it in the beginning of the reading, but because these readings were late, I will be starting through the next set of readings from the reverse order of the zodiac. Okay, so I'll be starting, from Pisces, and then Pisces, Capricorn, Sagittarius. Okay, whatever. I think I've got the order right. Anyway, your next reading will hopefully be late, is what I'm saying. It's all divine timing anyway. But back to where we were at, right? You go from the King of Staves or King of Wands in reverse to now the Ace of Sacred Circles or Ace of Pentacles in the right side up position. And that's in that week we just talked about, February 9th through February 17th or so. Again, not exact. But here we're talking about new beginnings again, or new growth, or new fresh energy to something, right? Gifts from the universe coming in. It's all about abundance. Cleo. Shh. It's all about abundance here, right? So the sacred circles of the pentacles, it talks about abundance being not just money and wealth, but whatever you want to manifest in your life. And really small here in the corner, there is this like buffalo drawing here in the card. And so the buffalo, again, is very similar energy to the bear, but excuse me, my nose is itchy. Native American culture, they really respect and value the buffalo and what it represents. Okay, so you can even just, like, if you're interested in it, what is like the spiritual symbolism of a buffalo more in detail. I know there's a difference between the white buffalo, which is more sacred, than the traditional brown buffalo, but it's what I was starting to say earlier is that it's similar to like when we think of the bear. Okay, so the buffalo takes up a lot of space, just like a bear. Okay, so stepping into your power, stepping into your space now. And what was lacking before and the week before, not stepping into your power, not being a king, not being ready to have a leadership role in some way, or perhaps leveling up in the next stage of something. But here in that next week or a couple of days, right, months, whatever it may be, you are now ready to step more into your power, or the other person is, or multiple people here, Sagittarius, okay? But I really like it. A lot of times you don't see two aces in one reading by itself, so I would take that as a really nice omen here. Oh girl, I didn't want to hear it because it's not dinner time and you had snacks earlier. All right, so moving forward here, Sagittarius, I'm going to ignore it. We have your, let's see, this is 6, 7, 8. Your 8th card here. Why so much hair? There's like one strand of hair. Your 8th card here, Sagittarius, in the middle, in the center, right? Excuse me, is the 3 of Swords in the reverse position. This is so beautiful to see here, Sagittarius. For so many different reasons. And, just to be on a selfish front for a second, I am a sun sign Sagittarius. And so when I saw this, I was like really encouraged myself here for the parts of myself where I feel that Sagittarius energy, right? Like I said, we all have Sagittarius somewhere here in our chart, in our birth charts. But it's in the reverse position is how you want to see. So some people talk about the 3 of Swords representing, if it was right side up, an energy of exhaustion, an energy of betrayal, an energy of heartbreak, an energy of lower vibrational frequencies. So whatever that may have been in the past for you, if it's not one or all or one or just two or just one of those things, right? It could even just be exhaustion for some, or low vibrational frequencies if it isn't necessarily heartache and betrayal, but it's over. And when it shows up here in this position, right, in the reverse position, it means that you are fully letting that go, or another person is fully letting that energy go, or multiple people are fully letting that go. Okay, but that's good because you don't want to feel heartache, right? You don't want to feel pain, betrayal, lower vibrational frequencies, or exhaustion. Okay, so that's why I said I got really excited when I saw this card here for you, Sagittarius, because it's good. However, you identify with it, okay? And that could be happening, could already be really happening here because, right, we're in that third row. So February 9th through the 17th, and today is the 13th, right? So you could have already maybe started to feel some of that energy, but it will be different for everybody. But it is really nice to see whenever you do feel it, or if you already felt it, okay? um, Now, moving forward, though, your last card in the main center here is really nice to see as well. So you have the Five of Sacred Circles. I look at it as a positive card. Some people don't, but it's also the same card as the Five of Pentacles. Okay, the Sacred Circles and Pentacles are the same. Okay, so it is. Every card has positive and negative, like I always say, but like I was saying, some people see it as negative, but the way that this card is depicted is more the positive aspect to how you get to the positive aspect of this card, right? So maybe the negative aspect of the card is not feeling a sense of community, not feeling, you know, connected in some way, whether it's religious or spiritual or physical or all of those things to other people. And so when that feeling, if it was in the past, and that's how I view it, again, it could just be past energy that is a couple of days ago, weeks, months, minutes, seconds, whatever it may be. Here is the more positive aspect of the card in the center here, right? And you see two women. Okay, and their hut is way by itself, right, from the group. Okay, so this is about the one woman is a shaman, okay, and the other woman is opening the hut door for her to come out. So it's looking for ritual, it's looking for connection, it's looking for deeper answers to things, it's looking for truth. Totally forgot to say this, right? When we will go back just for a second in your first row here, the last 2 weeks of January, you had the Justice card in the reverse position. What is Sagittarius in itself known for as an energy? They're truth seekers. Sagittarius are truth seekers, okay? So here, right, in that past, maybe there wasn't enough truth in your life in one way or several ways, right? But here, you go from the beginning of the reading to the end of the reading, okay? It's like such a transformation, okay? So maybe now you are getting more in touch with your own truth, or you're getting more information than the other person is, or multiple people, but also you're getting more sense of justice. You are getting hopefully answers to some of your questions, okay, that you've had in the past about life, the serious questions of life, of like, why are we here? What is my purpose? That kind of thing. So I look at it as, you know, a really positive card. All right. So with that being said, though, let's get into your tarot confirmation cards, because we're not quite done with the tarot yet, right? We still have the confirmation cards. So go ahead and call them out in order, and then we'll go. All right. So be quiet, girl. Hush. So we have the Two of Cups in the right side up position. We have the Knight of Swords in the right side up position. We have the Lovers in the right side up position. And then we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse position here. Now, the first two tarot confirmation cards are, you know, energy from the recent past. And then the last two are more future current energies of possible future, you know, likelihoods and energy, okay? But yeah, so it's interesting because when we talk about the Two of Cups, okay, this is a union card, okay, and this is, remember, recent past energy. So it doesn't just have to be romantic unions the way the card is depicted, right? It could also be unions with friends or family. It could be work partnerships. It could be several different ways of looking at unions, right? Different types of unions. But what the main thing with this union in the recent past was there was an equal give and take and a balance to it. So everybody was giving the same amount of effort, and there was respect and reciprocity. Okay, it was divinely guided. With you know, you see. You know, sometimes you see Archangel Michael, or you see the alchemy symbol of the lion, and the wings of the eagle, right, coming together. And so it's like divinely guided, higher vibrational union, okay? And again, it could not only just be two people, it could be two types of energy, right? But they're complementary to each other here. So when we talk about this Two of Cups from the recent past coming in here, and it is confirming the Two of Sacred Circles right side up, the Five of Cups right side up, and that Ace of Sacred Circles in the right side up position here, okay? So this is basically telling us that, you know, there was a union in the recent past that maybe is even still around, right? But it's like, okay, if we look at it on a base level, okay, there's the man praying to the bear spirit. That's a union in itself, two energies, right? Then you have on the other side the Two of Cups energies. So it's basically saying here that you have maybe in the recent past, and always with the first card of the reading in the center, I always say this could be energy from the recent past still kind of trickling around and hanging out, and why certain cards have shown up. So it could be that when you found yourself in this energy of juggling things, of struggling to make more abundance in your life, right? Of calling on the bear spirit for more courage and compassion and power and power in yourself and all of those things, okay? Ability to save when you talk about sacred circles or pentacles or money or wealth, right? You want to be able to save, okay? Think of the bear, and they're able to do the hibernation and save food for the long winter storms, okay? So it could be that when you were in that energy here, Sagittarius, that it was like, you know, you could be, you know, wanting to lean on support system, okay? So of that partnership, or maybe that partnership was a catalyst for you to get into more energy of the Two of Sacred Circles, of wanting a more complementary energy, equal give and take energy between either two people or two energies here, okay? Give me 1 second, though. I need a sip of some coffee or something. I have water somewhere, but this is closer. So anyway, when we move forward, though, when we talk about energy from the recent past with the Two of Cups, the Union card, right? Even though it's right side up, here, when it's confirming the Five of Cups, it's a catalyst card perhaps, but more in a way that isn't catalyst for positive change, but catalyst for this blockage that we already talked about with the Five of Cups, okay? So maybe in the recent past, you had a really nice memory or actions that happened where you had a positive unions, whether romantic or platonic or work partnerships, right? And maybe because in the future you don't, or you didn't have that same type of balance. Really, Nefertiti? Oh my gosh, sorry guys, hold on. You just, girl, hold up. You have never done that before. Girl, please. No. I know you're sassy, but you just like shifted the whole damn camera. Okay, sorry guys. I unplugged the charger, so hopefully that won't happen again. I think she got stuck in the cord. Yeah, so I was saying like there was this energy perhaps of, okay, this is how it used to be in the recent past, but I don't have that anymore. So maybe that's why there was that blockage of like, okay, if I don't have this union, whether romantic or work partnership or friends or family, whatever, that's kind of what led to the energy of the Five of Cups of like only focusing on the spilled wine or the negative or the dark side of something when there's still, you know, positive things that were around, okay? But now here, right, when it's finally the Two of Cups is confirming the Ace of Sacred Circles or Ace of Pentacles, here it is like a positive catalyst, okay? So it's basically saying that if this is energy that's no longer present as far as the certain type of union, okay, that use it for ways to find energy with other people or other energies in itself, right? Because the other thing I forgot to say about the Two of Cups being a union card, I said it could be romantic. I said it could be platonic with friends or family. I said it could be a work partnership, but it also can be self-love, like right union of different parts of yourself coming together. Okay, so there's again so many different types of unions. But when this Ace of Sacred Circles is here, it's like, yes, use that higher vibrational partnership union energy to bring yourself more abundant, to make yourself take on the energy of the buffalo as well, to step into your own power, right, and move forward and all that positive energy. Okay. Now, speaking of moving forward, let's get into your second tarot confirmation card, which is the Knight of Swords in the right side up position. And this is also energy from the recent past. So when the knights come in here, or the princes, right, it is an energy of not being at the bottom or the first stages of something, but let's say being in the middle. There is an energy of being open to learning new things. But anytime you see horses too, and they're in the right side of position, that's for momentum. Okay, it's really good energy here. But when also we see the swords, right, it talks about our intellect being, balanced nicely with the emotions and everything else going on. Okay, but the Knight of Swords or other even princes cards, talk about sometimes a communication. Okay, so it could be that in the recent past there was a medium-sized communication, whether that you wanted to give to someone or someone wanted to give to you, or a medium-sized communication from the universe, from the divine, your spirit guides, guardian angels, just signs from the universe coming in. Okay, but it looks like, since it is in the right side up position, that it did come through, okay, and it was brought forth. But sometimes I would say the thing about knights, because since it's not a page, which is below, or a king, sometimes it takes time, right? So knights can be kind of like slow moving, so slow mooning, but slow moving energy. Okay, so it could be that in the recent past there was some type of communication that was slow moving that came in, but maybe it was really positive, or it was well received by you or someone else or multiple people here. And it also had this energy of just being really balanced in the mental, right? Using the heart chakra and the emotions, but also using the logical brain. Okay. But when this Knight of Swords comes in here and it's confirming the Justice card in reverse, the Ace of Swords right side up, and the Three of Swords in reverse. Just put one of those down for a second. Actually, let's put, yeah. I was like, wait, I lost the order. Let me back up. So yes, the Knight of Swords in the right side up position when it's coming in, and confirming the Justice in reverse. Let's start there. This could be saying that if there is this lack of truth, or something being unjustified or unjustifiable on your side or someone else's side or multiple people's side, or a general environment situation, that, it's like telling you here, Sagittarius, that you can rely on that you knew the truth in the past, or the other person did, or multiple people did. And it's kind of like it's saying you'll know the truth again in the future, and they will know the truth again in the future, or the truth will find its way out, right? Even if it hasn't come all the way out yet. Okay. Like I said before, maybe the information isn't fully out yet. Pieces of it are out, but not all of it. So here it's kind of like giving you this gentle reminder that it will come out, that the energy will turn, that Lady Luck will pick up her sword once again and hold it high like the Knight of Swords as well. Now, here we go. Sword. Yeah, you did have three swords cards. No, four. You had 4 swords cards. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention in the beginning of the reading. I don't think I did. So I try to count ahead of time. Sometimes I do it on screen, or sometimes I do it ahead of time. How many of the major arcanas are present in your reading? So the ones that were the highest number, you had 2, okay, which hasn't happened in a minute, but you had 4 pentacles in your reading cards and you have 4 swords cards, okay? So there is this underlying theme throughout your reading here of abundance, but also the energy of mental clarity and the thing we talked about, swords being like a tool or a weapon, okay? So it's a little bit about our defense mechanisms as well, okay? Now, let me see. I just want to, I counted, but let's see how many are right side up. So 3 of your swords cards are right side up, but only 1 is reversed. Well, the other one is reversed, but it's positive. So I'm going to count it as like 3 positive swords cards. Okay, so 3 positive messages of having mental clarity. Yes, right on the bell there. It's just a general timer. I always just set it to like 40 something minutes or whatever. And then I kind of know I need to wind down the reading, but we're already there. We're fine. But I was saying it's like so the 3 swords cards that are in the positive position would be 3 messages of mental clarity. Okay. So if you didn't have it before, or you're looking for more truth before, you're going to have it again. Okay. Also, the aces represent, right, the new beginnings, the fresh start energy, and also having the ability to cut through bullshit, right? So the ace of swords cuts through bullshit, but also clears your path. Like you're cutting back the vines, from your path to see clear, to start moving forward again. Okay. And it also could be that if this started in, the recent past energy of the Knight of Swords, that this is carrying it further from the recent past into the more future current energies, even beyond. Okay. Now, the last one here in this little thing. Yes, Nefertiti, everyone hears you. Yes, thank you. We have the 3 of Swords in reverse. Remember I said it was in reverse, and that's how you want to see that card. And it's a positive situation, right? So here we have, again, the Knight of Swords coming in here and confirming and saying, if you needed mental clarity from the past, it's going to come back again. And it's really going to help you if you were exhausted in the past in some way. If you had heartache or pain or hurt or betrayal or lower vibrational frequencies in the past, that Knight is coming in and he's saying you're going to get back your truth. You're going to get back on the horse. You're going to get forward momentum and positive energy and more mental clarity, going forward. All right, Nefertiti, really? Come on. This is like a new thing you've been doing and I'm not a fan. Go over there. Sorry, guys. Okay, now moving forward, let's talk about your last 2 tarot confirmation cards here. So the first, the third one is the Lovers in the right side up position. Okay, and these 2, remember, are different because they are more future, possibilities and future and present possibilities energies, versus the other 2 confirmation tarot cards were recent past. This is more like recent. This is more not recent, but this is more future energies. Okay, I'll just leave it there because I can't talk right in that moment. Okay, so here we have, again, some Gemini energy. Remember in the beginning of the reading, I did say that you have 2 Gemini cards here. So here's the official Gemini tarot card, the Lovers in the right side up position. So this is very similar energy, Sagittarius, to your first confirmation card as far as higher vibrational love. And here we also see, now we see Archangel Michael, okay, above here. And then it's also, I talked about it before. So this is higher vibrational unions, okay? So again, romantic union, platonic, with friends or family union, or a work partnership union, or a union of different parts of yourself coming together. And we talk about self-love and all those things, right? Embracing your shadow side, doing your shadow work, all of those things, okay? So it's a very similar energy. Nefertiti, I might have to lock you in the other room. Really? And you hit the bell. Okay, sorry guys. So When this lover card shows up, okay, this Gemini energy shows up as your third tarot confirmation card. This is really nice. It's almost saying, remember, you had it back in the recent past, and now you're going to have it again, possibly in the future, okay? In the near distant future, okay? Some type of union that's divinely guided, higher vibrational union, okay? So this is really beautiful to see. And it's coming in here and it's confirming the Prince of Swords in reverse, the King of Staves in reverse, and the Five of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, okay? So I'll do them one by one here. You guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna lock my cat in the other room. You are so bad. It's not even dinner time. Come here. No. It's not dinner time. It's not. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Oh my God. If it's not the dogs, it's the cats. Okay. So, keep losing my train of thought. We were talking about the lovers confirming the Prince of Swords in reverse, right? So here we have this energy of in the past, right? In that last 2 weeks of January for some, or even further back, right? If there was a lack of mental clarity, there was more anxiety, worry, overthinking, emotions were clouding someone's judgment here, multiple people's judgment, that it's kind of saying, well, those things are going to straighten out. And there, as far as this union, it's going to bring less anxiety, worry, overthinking, more mental clarity. Okay. And then as far as the emotions, they will be equal give and take with the emotions here as well. Okay. And also when we talk about the Lover's card in itself too, you see like, it's supposed to be the typical Adam and Eve kind of depiction in the card here, but it's like a balance of masculine and feminine energies. Same thing with the Two of Cups. And whether you're talking about a man or a woman, we all have, right? Regardless of how you identify, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But here, they're both balanced, okay? Which is really nice. And again, this highly, oh my God, I can't talk. Highly, higher vibrational, highly divined energy. Oh my gosh. All right, moving forward. It's been a long day, guys. Sorry. I've been up since 5:30 in the morning, and then I had my other job, and now I'm here. So, and yes. Anyway, when the Lovers comes in here and is confirming the King of Staves, also known as the King of Wands in reverse here, right? This is basically saying if there was this feeling of a lack of passion, a lack of creativity, not having enough courage or confidence in yourself, in your own quiet knowing, in your own intuition, or just in general, that it will come back. And it could be because of a union. It could be because a friend comes in, or a family member comes in, or a romantic partner comes in, or a work partnership comes in and helps you get those things back, okay? Now, with the Five of Sacred Circles or Five of Pentacles here, this is really beautiful, right? Because what did I say? There was two women down here, right? Two people or two energies, right? Because it could be two energies that are about two different corporations. It could be two energies of 3 people over here and 5 people over here, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be even, but you're just talking about 2 different energies. So again, we see 2 people at the bottom of this card too. All right. So this union, whatever it may be for you, okay, is again going to help you maybe answer some of your questions, your deeper questions, the Sagittarius truth questions of what is the meaning of life? Why am I here? Not just saying that only Sagittarius people do that or only Sagittarius energy has that, but it's something that is kind of present in most Sagittarius energies as far as a stereotype, right? But it's different for everyone. But I would say that, let me turn that down, that this is really nice to see, because also this could be saying here, Sagittarius, that this union, and there could be multiple unions, right? But the one that's the most meaningful for you here, I would say, is going to be supportive of you going inward, taking a break socially in some way, to find some of those questions to your answers, to take a retreat, a spa day, whatever you want to call it, right? To just get but more centered, and back to yourself. Okay. So that's really beautiful. Now, your last, finally, tarot confirmation card here is the Eight of Wands in the reverse position. And it's so nice, Sagittarius, that it is reversed. And again, this is more future, possibilities, energy showing up here. Okay. Because when it's right side up, she's really defensive. She's wounded. Perhaps she's wounded other people, right? It's that defensive energy, but it's in reverse. And you only actually have one, well, you technically have two, but you only have two Wands cards throughout your whole reading here, which is nice, because I think, I can't remember exactly your last reading, but usually I feel like Sagittarius, you have a tendency to have a lot of Wands in your reading. And I can't say if they're all positive or negative, right? Because I can't remember every reading, but here it is positive because it's in reverse, all right? The other thing I would say, though, about the Eight of Wands is if it's not an energy of letting go of defenses, right, that could be blocking your own abundance. Again, abundance, not just being money and wealth, but whatever you want to manifest in your life. With the Eight of Wands in reverse, it could also be that if we're talking about a communication and instincts being off, okay? I think I did Scorpio yesterday. I think Scorpio got this card, but it was was it Scorpio? It might have even been Libra. I can't remember. Somebody got it towards the end of their reading, not in their confirmation cards, I don't think. But it was, they got the Eight of Staves in reverse, or the Eight of Wands in reverse, right? And so it also talks about a communication not coming through, or not being well received, or not being in the right time. So when we talk about communications, again, be a communication that you want to give to someone, or someone wants to give to you, or communication from your spirit guides, the universe, your guardian angels, higher power, whatever you call it, right? Maybe it wasn't understood well, or it won't be understood well unless the timing is right, unless the intuition and the instincts are right. When you see this card in other decks, particularly in this deck, the other reading I was talking about, that had it, there's all these birds flying in the sky, and there's 8 wands trying to hit the birds for dinner time, right? And so it's that instinctual flight or fight mode that we have from our ancestors, right? When we had to run from the saber-toothed tiger, and we had to find dinner and all that stuff, right? And so it's about instinct, and it's about the birds responding really quickly. Some respond quicker than others, right, to the incoming danger, okay, the incoming message, right? So even if this message here, or this communication is positive, it could just be it's not the right time, or not all of it was fully understood, because maybe somebody's instincts are off. It could be your instincts are off here, Sagittarius, or the other person, or both people, or multiple people, or general environment situation, okay? But I mainly felt like it was a positive thing here when I saw this card for you, because it was coupled with, right, the Lover's card, okay? And so even though it's a confirmation card, and it's confirming these other cards we'll talk about in a second, it also came together with this one. And so it felt more in the vein of putting defenses down, okay? I'm not going to be having my walls up all the time. I'm not going to be so guarded, emotionally guarded, let's say. I'm not going to be so emotionally protected that it's going to block my abundance, or block love, different forms of love, or block a union, different forms of unions, right? So I mainly see it as a positive thing, okay? Now, when it comes in here and it is confirming the same cards we just confirmed with the other one, but a little differently, right? The Prince of Swords in reverse, the King of Staves in reverse, and the Ace, no, not the Ace, sorry. the Five of Sacred Circles right side up here, okay? This is basically saying, and we'll go one by one here, that, well, this is interesting. Well, these are both communication cards, right? I said it was a medium-sized communication. And then you also had it here. So it looks like here, Sagittarius, that if there was a communication that came through at the end of January and it wasn't well received, or it caused more mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking because somebody's emotions were clouding their judgment, I feel that well, it's hard to put a time on it, but I feel that with the two aces that showed up in your reading here, it could maybe even be by the end of February, March, even April for some, right? Since it's general reading, that there will be a more positive communication. There'll be less anxiety, worry, overthinking. Emotions will be more balanced. Communication will now just start to be more well received or understood better. That's really how I feel, okay? And if that communication, right, in the recent past affected your confidence, your passion, your creativity, your courage, your standing in your power, your leveling up in a relationship, a job, etc., taking on leadership qualities, that, it won't stay like that forever, right? Because this communication, if we're talking about that and this letting go of, emotional walls and blockages, okay, the more that you're able to do that and accept whatever communication comes in, right, whether it's positive or negative, take it for what it is, right, and take time to reflect, get away in some way from the social scene, right? Whether it's physically getting away from people or emotionally getting away from people or spiritually getting away from people, to come into your own quiet knowing and look for the answers to the hard questions, recharge yourself, right? Work on slowly building your abundance again, but taking your time, okay? It doesn't have to be. That's the thing about the Eight of Wands, is it's so fast when it's right side up, right? The wands are coming in so fast. So maybe it's just as simple as, excuse me, you taking your time here, Sagittarius, with this message, whether you're going to give it to someone or someone's going to give it to you, or it's a message from your spirit guides, guardian angels. Take your time, with the message so you can let those walls down, okay? All right. Now, with all that tarot stuff we did, because I don't even know what time we're at, an hour and 7 minutes. Okay, good. Let's get into your oracle messages before you go real quickly. So you had one additional love oracle message, so I went ahead and took it. So your first one, when we're talking about love oracle messages, whether you're watching for romantic love or love with friends or family, platonic love, or even self-love, right, or all of those, your first love oracle message is new love. And it says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. All right. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right, as far as the romantic partnerships, right? And then if we're talking about friends or family, it could be that a new friend comes in and stirs some really positive emotions for you, or positive friendship vibes, right? It could also be with family. Maybe there's a family member you've never met, or a different side of a family member that you've never seen, that kind of stirs some positive emotions here, or a new sense of love with that friends or family, etc. And then also you could find a newfound love for yourself. When we're talking about self-love, okay? Could be a different part of yourself coming in and saying, we need to love all of ourselves, and the shadow side to ourselves, and all of those things, all right? So anyway, it's new love. It's could be for existing love that's already there, right? Or a brand new sense of love, or a different version of this older love, but take it how it resonates for you. I always say that. All right. And then your second love oracle card here that you got, Sagittarius, and it's really beautiful. It says, let your friends help you. All right. And it says, ask for and accept support from others. All right. So that is beautiful. And I think that's pretty self explanatory for romantic love, platonic love, family love, self love, all those things. So ask for help from your friends, from your support system, whatever that may be, because they may be able to help support you. Okay, that's what they're supposed to do as a support system. All right. So very beautiful. And then your very last oracle card here is the Remy or Rumi, depending on how you like to pronounce it, oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. Okay. And so Rumi or Remy is a 13th century poet, Persian poet. He's one of my favorites. So the oracle message that you got here for this time, Sagittarius, is card number 12, Divine Discontent. So there is a little excerpt here from some of his poetry that I'll read, and then like a sentence or two about a quick ritual that you can do or affirmation, and then that's pretty much it. There's way more in here, but we don't have time for that. I don't usually do all of it anyway. All right, so check out this cool card here. It looks like little tiny people at the bottom, but it's very abstract. All the cards in this oracle deck are really abstract, so I'm not sure what you guys will see. Everybody might see different things, but all right. So it says, Divine Discontent. Winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing, sadness brings surrender, and a deep desire to be free. I know your heart, I hear it breaking and groaning in the darkest nights when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as of yet. There is a piece of the puzzle missing, even in its tumultuous gratitude for all that is, and there is much gratitude and sweet appreciation in that precious heart of yours. There is a murmuring, a questing. It cries out to heaven. Vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on. I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of filling, not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else can satisfy me. Please, please restore me to wholeness. I can hear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing. No. For the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only for the beloved, attracting the only medicine that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-seeking heart, that of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. All right, so that's beautiful. I don't remember that particular one, but that's pretty. Okay, so let's see what it says for the little ritual real quick. It says, place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Say the following aloud. Rumi or Remy, who loves me unconditionally, guide me now. I acknowledge the gratitude in my heart, genuine and fierce. I acknowledge the hunger for the divine unfolding in my belly, the urging forward towards some unknown, indescribable sanctity. Okay. Guide me to the holy table where the true feast awaits. Sorry, I don't think they spelled that right. That's why I was like, what does that say? Okay. Anyway, yes, guide me to the holy table where the true feast awaits. I want to feast with the Holy One, the Great One, to know directly and for myself that I am divine. With your mercy, grace, and wisdom, guide me there. Dearest brother of my soul, I cast my soul into your care and follow my nose. Okay. I follow my nose towards the sweetest sense of the holy feast. All right. And then it says, rest or stand up and dance your prayer. Just be with your body and know what it wants to rest and move now. Whatever you choose, stay with your breath and what it truly feels. Then say aloud, oh my gosh, this one's long. Sorry, guys. It's like 2 parts. Okay. Anyway, we're going to go with it. Oh, wow. It says, say aloud, I release that which is not worthy for my soul to the feast. Wait, I release that which is not worthy for my soul to feast upon. I do not decide this for myself from a place of distrust or judgment. I surrender my attachment and I trust in the sacred workings of life to present me what is needed. I surrender in sacred trust. I surrender. May my life be governed by love for the greatest good and in the holy service to love now. So be it. You have now finished your sacred honoring ritual. How did you get out the room, Nefertiti? So that's beautiful, guys. I like that it mentioned when we were talking about justice in reverse and then the 5 of sacred circles right side up. We were talking about truth and Sagittarius' quest for finding truth, and Sagittarius being the natural, philosopher, right? So truth being really beautiful. I just like that it says, I surrender. It says it twice in sacred trust. Okay. So hopefully you got something from, that message there, because it can resonate, for any time, right? It's always good to hear those beautiful things. All right. So Nefertiti and I, thank you so much for being patient with us while we act out and everything. And thank you for understanding that your reading was a little late, but that next time it won't be late because we're going backwards through the zodiac. So next time you will be before some of the other signs. Okay, Sagittarius. So thank you guys so much for your energy, for your views, for your shares of this video, and also for your subscriptions. All are free ways to support the channel. So if you watched this video and you haven't subscribed yet and you're like, okay, they're crazy, but I do want to subscribe, all you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right there, and just make sure it's blue and it's active, and it'll just notify you when I put out new readings. All right. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Enjoy this period, and I don't know if we'll be doing Capricorn tonight or tomorrow, but hopefully later tonight after I take a break. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. All right, thanks. Bye.